Hey guys, so I'm back. So I'm sitting on my sofa because my cats are too cute and they're sitting on my desk and they're sitting on top of my books and things that I set aside. So let's just jump right into it. This is a stack of books sort of focusing on, I guess, a 1950s, 60s concept of language learning, not just for Spanish, but for mostly for European languages as taught in English. This particular book kind of sums it all up, just the title of the book. It's called Spanish Through Pictures. And let's sort of show you guys a sample page here. I don't want to open it too far because the binding's sort of cracking on this, but let's see if I can get close here. You can see, it's not really going to focus here, but it says son manzanas, and then it has a picture of two apples. Then underneath it, it says son naranjas. Then underneath it, it says las manzanas y las naranjas son fruta. So, these are apples, these are oranges. Apples and oranges are fruits. ¿Qué hora es? And it shows 7 o'clock. It says, son las 7. María va a hacer la sopa. This is a part of the book where the housekeeper for these people is making a soup, and then they explain that the potatoes are hard, not soft yet, but they're going to boil, etc., etc. The whole thing uses stick figures and pictures, and through the action of the pictures and the people, you learn Spanish. For example, ahora le doy el sombrero. So right now, he is giving the other guy the hat. A very similar book from the same period of time, from the 50s or 60s, Look and Learn Spanish. This one's actually pretty good. It has really cute cartoons. Randomly, we open a page here. Shows little Juanito. He's reading a book on Espanol. He's not feeling well, and the caption says, a Juanito le duele la cabeza. Le duele la cabeza porque lee mucho. Juanito necesita un médico. Hay que buscar un médico. Pobre Juanito, right? So Juanito has a headache. He has a headache because he's reading too much. He needs a doctor, so they have to go and get a doctor. Poor Juanito, right? Obviously, the book doesn't start that complicated. The book starts, let's give you an example of the very first thing in this book is a picture of the United States, and it says, Los Estados Unidos. Then there's a picture of a guy. He says, Yo soy norteamericano, right? Etc., etc. Just to give you an idea, the very first picture in Spanish Through Pictures is, where is it? Yo soy un hombre, right? Then she says, Yo soy una mujer. And that's pretty straightforward. You really can't get much simpler than that. Sorry, this is a little out of focus. I don't have a very good sort of lens on this cell phone that I'm using to shoot this. Here's another one that's very similar. You guys have probably seen this if you looked in bookstores because this one's still in print. See it and say it in Spanish. I recommend these books a lot. They're really fun. This one's more text, less pictures, but the pictures are kind of cool. Tengo que comprar una camisa. Right? And the guy has to go buy a shirt. Tengo que comprar cortinas. He wants to go buy curtains, etc., etc. Just to give you an idea, the very first one in this book, this is for absolute beginners. Voy al hotel. And the guy's going to a hotel. It has a picture of a Hotel Ritz, a doorman, etc., and it explains, voy, I'm going. Right? Al, to the. Voy al banco. The guy's going to the bank. Voy al garaje. Right, he's going to the garage to get his car worked on. Voy al restaurante. Right, he's going to the restaurant. So here's a similar one. This one is using English to teach. This is a series you can get French a la cartoon, you can get German a la cartoon, etc. 101 hilarious cartoons for understanding Spanish. I recommend this one because it's fun, but this is definitely not absolute beginner stuff. This is more like intermediate stuff where you can kind of appreciate a little bit of a sense of humor. There's no level. It's not like the first cartoons in this book are easier than the last ones. They're just categorized according to Latin American countries where Spanish is spoken and the different artists that have written and drawn cartoons in those countries. Pardon me. Now we have a series of picture dictionaries for children that I studied from, and I highly recommend these. These are great. This is the Usborne or Usborne. I'm not sure how you pronounce that name. This is British or European beginners language book series. This is the beginners Spanish dictionary. This is not arranged according to level, or the first pages are not easier. They're just in alphabetical order, kind of according to concepts. For example, this particular page is all about the dining room, and you can see there's pictures. This particular page is all about what's going on in the kitchen. These are great books. Related to this, another publisher which does almost the same exact thing is Passport Books, and this is their version of pretty much the exact same thing. It's a little bit larger book. I picked this one up at the Strand, I think, in New York, or maybe someplace else because it doesn't have a Strand price tag. But this is alphabetical order. These are not in order of difficulty. In fact, they're all very basic. They have, for each word, it shows the Spanish word, it shows the English translation, it shows a picture, shows a sample Spanish sentence, and then a translation of that sentence in English. So, for example, the very first word for A is about, which in Spanish is de, and then it says, El libro trata de dragones. The book is about dragons, right? And it shows a picture, and this guy is reading a book, and it has dragons. So these are great. This one I had to take back to the public library, so I made a photocopy of it. The book is actually in maroon, the cover. This is the basic Oxford Picture Dictionary. This is not the full-size Oxford Picture Dictionary for Spanish. This is just the very basic one. It's like 90 pages long. I think this might also be the Canadian edition, which tends to be shorter. But this was great, and this is what the cover looks like. It's maroon if you actually get the book, and unfortunately I can't show it to you, but if you've seen the Oxford Picture Dictionary series in any language, they're very good to study from. I'll be talking about that later in my blog at some point, because I actually use them in a different way, which is very cool, and it lets you use an English Oxford Picture Dictionary or an English picture dictionary by any publisher to study any language, and I'll explain that at some point in a different blog entry, not in the Spanish section. And last but not least, for my picture dictionaries, here is another Osborne or Usborne first 1,000 words in Spanish. You guys may have seen this. This is easy to find in the children's section of various bookstores, Barnes & Noble, whatever. Comes in hardcover and paperback. This is the paper. And basically, each page just has a 2-page spread. For example, this one's called La Casa, and it's just the inside of a home, and it just has, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 words of different things around the house. La mesa, el periódico. My pronunciation, of course, is not super, as you can tell, but it will be good eventually. My comprehension is at a much higher level than my pronunciation and my speaking Spanish at the moment, which is fine with me. El video, el sofá, etc. Anyway, that's how this book works. This is a long entry. Sorry it's been so long. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.